we'll start with the most obvious question.
Okay.
Why do you want to be on Detroit City Council?
Well, I have an absolute love affair with the city of Detroit, and I have for a number of years. I've served in city government. Was employed by city government in two city departments, in the health department and in housing. I was appointed by the mayor as a neighborhood city hall manager for two neighborhood city halls on different ends of town. And I also, during the time I was with the city of Detroit, spent a lot of time in policy-related governmental affairs kind of work. So this is right up my kitchen, and I think that in terms of what I've done in the legislature and all of that, that this is making me a unique person. Nobody that we have out of the 17 has served on all four levels of government as I have, city, county, federal, and state. None of them have served in two branches of government as I have, in the executive and legislative branches. And none of them have really done a lot of the nonprofit work that I did. I was executive director at Virginia Park during the whole reconstruction of that during the period after the 1967 riots. So I've helped build communities. I've worked tirelessly to bring money to the city of Detroit. I was on the Appropriations Committee, which is the most powerful committee in the House of Representatives, and I was a ranking member. And for Detroit, that was good because we would bring some dollars to Detroit, to make sure we got our revenue sharing, and at the same time, be able to do some other good things, like $500,000 that I brought to the Motown Museum to aid in its expansion, and $250,000 that I brought to the city in Techtown. So I'm proud of some of the things that we were able to accomplish, but Ronnie, there's always more that you can do. And so I'm here to do it.
You kind of maybe even already answered my next question, but I'm going to put it out there anyway.
Okay.
Detroit's coming out of bankruptcy.
Yes.
What skills do you have that the other candidates may not have that can help lead the city into this new financial pathway?
Well, obviously, as I said, I was on appropriations, and the job of an appropriator in Lansing is to review and approve and oversee the budgets of the state of Michigan. $54 billion budget. Detroit's budget is about $1 billion. I think I might be able to handle that. The second thing I think, though, and more importantly, is that I wrote one of the bills that was in the grand bargain that transferred $194 million from the state to a fund that was later given to retirees to keep their pensions from being cut to pieces, as was, originally proposed. So because I've been involved intricately with all of that, I think that I'm probably the best person of all of them to be able to sit and watch over what we do. We cannot afford to make the mistakes that we did in the past. And I think that as we go forward and come out of bankruptcy and into a new solvency, that we need to tread very carefully.
Some of the sitting Detroit City Council members, and even past ones, have had issues in their personal lives that have come up after they've been elected into office, such as foreclosures and DUIs and whatever else. And whenever they go through those personal crises, it takes away from the work of the City Council. Is there anything that, if you were to get this job, that might come to light later that could take away from the work of council?
No, I've been involved in politics on an elective level for more than 20 years. I've never had any of those kinds of happenstances. I'm very careful about the things that I do to try to make sure that I stay, north of anything that's going to be a problem. And I don't want any of that kind of stuff to interfere with my work on council. In fact, I'm single and I've been that way for a long time. I'm divorced. And I have a 4-year-old, and I love him to pieces, and I'm doing the best I can to make sure he's taken care of. And so I don't have a lot of time to spend, frolicking and acting crazy. I'm not a party guy. I'm a workhorse.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add?
Well, I just want the citizens of this city and the council members who have got to make a critical decision to understand that the reputation of the city of Detroit is really in question right now. We are at a great time in the city where some of the bad stuff has gotten out of the way, and now it's time for us to plot a new course. And I am absolutely excited about what I see. I see the development downtown, I see the development in Midtown and New Center, but I also want to see it extended, to neighborhoods like Grandmont and Rosedale Park and And on the east side, you know, Morning View and other areas where we have pockets that are really savable, and we need to try to eliminate the blight and do some reinvestment in those neighborhoods to make sure that the message gets out to everyone in Detroit that we have one Detroit, and this is our Detroit.